This is being played by Asha. Let me just stick to selling books because it seems like when God was sharing voice, I went to Italy, I went to China, I went to America, I went to Eko Dumota to go and buy books that time. I cannot sing to save my life. Welcome to Plant Path Podcast, your choice of for book reviews and crucial conversations. Since 2021, we've been reviewing amazing books, like beautiful books on leadership, parenting, self-help, relationships, on different areas of life. And earlier in the year, I think some months ago, I was talking to somebody that is an introvert, like a teenager, that just seems to be quiet around like my circle. And I was like, why are you always quiet? Like, okay, it's okay to be quiet, but we now start talking. Are you sure you're not shy? Are you keeping something away? You understand? Or when you're around your friends, do you talk? You understand, that kind of thing. And I was like, have you read the book, The Power of Introverts in a World That Can't Stop Quiet? The Power of Introverts in a World That Can't Stop Talking by Susan Cain. And it was like, no, I was like, oh my God, I just remembered that I have not reviewed this book. This book, I think I must have recommended it to at least 100 parents that are struggling with their introvert children. This book is a book I absolutely love. I have read it over and over again. I recommend it, and I recommend it again. Amazing book. Some people marry introverts and they're like, how do I do? What do I do with you? You're just quiet. What people have introverts as children, as colleagues, and they don't seem to understand them. This is a perfect book for you. Like I told someone that I sell books, and the person was like, you're the perfect person to sell books. You read books a lot and you understand the psychology of books. So please, we are selling books. I sell books. We are selling books at Plant Path Consult. We sell books to individuals. Just eat us up, on parenting, on child care, for your teenagers, for your small children, one Christmas book, stuff like that. Happy New Month in December. I forgot to shout out to Keresimesi, my people. So you want books on different subjects, you are the right place to just come to. Come and you understand, and let's give you books too. We sell books. You just check us up on our social media platforms. You see us, and we also sell books to corporates. Like your office is doing outreach, Christmas outreach. If people have tried, you have given those children rice and giving them music, let them play. But after you leave, what will stay with them? They'll eat that rice, they'll shit, they'll forget it. Buy books within your budget. You can work out something for you. Buy books for those children in that community, and their kids that they know how to exchange books within in their own circle. So we know how to point to books. Let's buy this one. Specific for their age range, for their socio-economic status. You're going to an orphanage. Let's give you books that these book children can read. You understand? It's going to help them a lot, especially this Christmas holidays. That's what we do at Plant Path, because we want everybody, both old and young, to read. As you are doing your Christmas hamper for your staff. Not just put wine, put everything. Yes, come and meet us. Let's buy book for you too. Let's add book to the hamper. You think people don't read? People have time. If there's anything I've learned, people have time. The business people in my contact are the ones that check my WhatsApp status the most, and they comment the most. They are very busy. They can be in hyper meeting. We have time for what's important to us. We can carry books and be going at the airport. Like this said, do you know how many books I've read? I've recruited a few people, that will share books and everything. You hear I finish reading it. This person has crazy deadlines at work, but as they get home, as they relax, they are reading books. People have time to read. So let's encourage the culture of reading. The person that is reading and the person that does not read, empty brain, you understand, that is running on empty intellectual steam. They are two different people, you understand. Let me focus today, Jerry. So we sell books, so come and buy books to us at Plant Path Consult. Come and buy books. Teacher trainings, mental health trainings in your offices, in your schools, in your community. That's what we do. Instructional design. Hit us up. Come and talk your next conference about topical issues in education. I'm looking forward to collaborating with you. Yes, let's really go on this commercial break and come back to talk about quiet, the power of introverts in the world that can't stop talking by Dr. Susan Cain. Àwọn àánú mi ló ń bá mi wí. Ilé àná mo rẹ̀ láyọ̀. àwọn fẹ́ sílé. Ẹ̀gbọ́n rẹ̀ tó fẹ́ mi lọ́wọ́ nìyọ. Mo díẹ̀ fún ọ. This is being played by Asha. Beautiful song. Yes, today we are going to talk about the power of introverts in a world that can't stop talking. Today, I'm not going to be doing a full book review for you. I want to propel you to go and read this book. So let me read the praise for the book. An intriguing and potentially life-altering examination of the human psyche that is sure to benefit both introverts and extroverts alike. Very intriguing and potentially life-altering. This book, when you read this book, I think we need to get copies of this book and sell our plant pamphlets. Check out our social media pages right now to be sure we have them in stock, and buy for yourself, buy for your friends. Gentle is powerful. Solitude is socially productive. These important counterintuitive ideas are among many reasons to take quiet to a quiet corner and absorb its brilliant, thought-provoking message. Let me tell you, when I met my husband as a friend, when he was my friend over the years, I didn't quite understand him, right? But this book is one of the ways that helped me to understand my husband and a few quiet people around my life. Like, quiet people. It's a very good book. Doesn't mean they are quiet. They are not quiet. They are troublemakers. But they are just quiet around some people. Yeah. Okay. Several aspects of quiet are remarkable. First, it is well informed by the research literature, but not held captive by it. Secondly, it is exceptionally well written and reader friendly. Third, it is insightful. I'm sure many people wonder why brash, impulsive behavior seems to be rewarded, whereas reflective, thoughtful behavior is overlooked. This book goes beyond superficial impressions to a more penetrating analysis. Let me tell you something, right? I realized that my strength, where my strength is, one of my strengths, right? As much as I'm a planner, I'm not an operations person. Like, essentially, it's not like I can't do it, but it's not exactly my strength. That's why I get people to do a lot of operational things for me. I want to come, tell you what to do, let's talk about it, analyze, tell me what to do, deliver, and that's the end of it. Like, that's the end of it. But I realized that one of the things that's helped my work in the past few years is my husband. He's more reflective, he's more thoughtful, he's me, I can just go, hey, play, my behavior, I don't go, I finished it. That's the end of it. I'm not even thinking about it. But my husband is a penetrative analysis person. And I love it for that, because I now take my thoughts to him. He's like, babe, did you think about it like this? Did you think about it? Okay, I think I'll refer him to him as my friend for now. So that's single people are not angry. So my friend is reflective, right? He's thoughtful. You understand? I'm not like that. That's true. It's not like I've learned to do better, right? But essentially, that's not my person. And this is a professor of psychological analysis for Purdue University, William Graziano, that is talking to. So you have insight. So, and I'm like, this someone, I noticed that there are friends that, their thoughts are so provoking. Like on Tama Kenji, a lot of the quotes I use, and I write it there, they are thoughts by my friends. There are people that will not even write their thoughts online. They will never sit down. Like, since I've known them online, some I've known them like more than half my life. They will not sit down and place a camera and say those thoughts. But we will talk. But the truth is that a lot of times their insights are more even groundbreaking than others are talking. So why is society seeming to recognize and reward people that are talking? You understand? Let me just move to the first chapter so that you can understand what I'm saying. Okay, there's an introduction, author's notes, blah, 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 blah. There is part 1, the extrovert ideal. It says, the right of the mighty, likable fellow. How extroversion became the cultural ideal. So think of people you know as celebrities. It's like there are just very few introverts that, because of their expertise, they've been able to do well. Like, for instance, what's this man's name? Ed Sheeran. He's very unassuming. I mean, because of his craft, you have to notice him by fire by force. Because he's quiet, he spends more time, you understand, doing his craft. Those are like the introverts that end up like breaking the scale that people know. But essentially, the life he lives, even someone like Aisha, they are not loud people. They don't put their life online and everything. It's their craft that makes us notice them. Like, there are some accountants that they are so good. You understand? That's why we notice them. You know. Sometimes you be in a company. You don't even know. You've never seen the CFO face to face. It's our work that speaks for them. That's a place that introverts shine. But this chapter is trying to tell you that over the years we just exalted extroversion so much that it seems to be the ideal. Usually when people talk, maybe in business meetings, they say things like, just be an extrovert, say your mind. I'm like, we don't all have to say our minds. If we are all saying our minds, who is going to listen? Who is going to process our thoughts for us? So it's okay not to be the ideal, and we have to think about it. Like, even in our reward structure, in companies, in organizations, we have to make sure that we're ensuring that we are not celebrating extroversion so much. This is episode 71, by the way. We're not celebrating extroversion so much and forgetting the people that work in the background. Like, we shouldn't, because that system is not good. It's not helpful. Like, I always say something, right, to my husband, to my friend. Like, we always say something that the fact that somebody is loud, my husband is one, my friend is one that is always saying that the fact that somebody is loud doesn't mean that person is correct. Like, or that's the first person that spoke. And lots of times I've seen it. Like, a student just raises their hand to say something. You clap, oh, good, first person to talk. That person might have just said rubbish in a conference, in that class or in a conference. So then there's a myth of charismatic leadership, the culture of personality 100 years later. So there is a way that our society goes that is charismatic leaders that are actually selling. And let me even tell you this, right? Actually, in the mental health space, right, I've seen that, or in all these young tech startups. Let me tell you, I had an experience earlier in the year. So, because I did data analytics course, and I'm actually still trying to integrate data analytics into education. Maybe do a product line, you understand, in that respect. And I was actually searching for internship for 2 people, right? Or an entry-level job. So I tell them, this person actually, there's a way extroverts can color things, make it look in a way that is flashy, but isn't. So this person said, sales analyst, though, that was the requirement. That was you understand, sales analyst. So from that, I went to ChatGPT and he told me what sales analyst is. It's like an entry-level data analyst and everything. The data that entered. So I got an interview. I went to the company and the person said, no, it's not like that. So we just wanted to bring people in the pool. What mean that you really want like an SSC older role? I'm like, what did you literally like? You understand? And then the way the person was not talking to me after, the person was like, come to the office so day, not even on an official email or on the WhatsApp thing. Come to the office so day, the CEO will be available to talk to you. I'm like, I'm not even around, I'm not even like nearby at the moment. And this person was like, you're supposed to come meet me there. I've said, man, I was like, what's doing this one? Is this one okay? And I just kept quiet, you understand? I'm like, I've gotten jobs, I've gotten big contract, based off WhatsApp status, so based off almost after 3 years going to do. So it's not new, but it was just the rudeness. That's how I can be. It was just how rude the person was talking. It was very dismissive. The person was talking to me. I was like, wow, Tosin, I've seen a lot in this your life. Like, what did you carry? What did you feel like making like you? Meet the CEO at the office. And I realized that it is literally the same. Like, literally every startup you go to, there's just that cocky CEO that just feels like, oh, the world revolves around them and we are all playing catch up in the world that is theirs, you understand? There's just that cocky CEO, there's that person, and sometimes we don't we don't look at that person and say, oh, this bad behavior, this rubbish behavior. We just say, oh, they are charismatic. I've met people that maybe, hey, start up, see you, everything. Like one person seems very charismatic, or like you understand that kind of thing. Very nice graphics online. They have multiple pages, found that this. And the person invited me to speak. And that's how this person, as the person invited me to speak, by people. I was like, okay. So I asked the question, what do you... I asked the question, and it was like, I'm trying to remember his response now. No, he didn't respond to me. I told Mariah about this. He didn't respond to my question. So, like, the next time he came back, he asked for my picture. I gave him my picture. It was like, what do I think? And then I checked it. I was like, okay, let me think. And as I was typing, after I typed that, okay, let me look at it. I was like, you already used your WhatsApp status. Like, bruh, you did not even get my permission. You just used my picture. Like, how much is my speed? This is my... Should I send you my rate card? So you know how much I collect for my speaking engagement. This bro did not answer me. He now sent a PA to me. Hey. He now sent a PA to me. Or whoever that lady is, a volunteer in his organization, one of his organizations. Then the volunteer was asking, I said, please, I was talking to your girl, and you did not answer me. So we don't have a conversation, please. Let that conversation finish before I attend to you. Then she went back to the guy. The guy came back. He just sent me one ridiculous amount of money. I shouldn't even mention it online. I slept and woke up and I saw the money. I was like, is this one okay? I said, please send me your account number. He didn't send it back. I just sent it back to the ladies, okay. I was like, this guy is a charismatic leader. He's a, people's person. He's talking eloquent online. And this person has a very shitty behavior. It's not me and you that is going to do together. But get the hell away and with you and your character. So he goes to tell you that charismatic leader thing, and I've met really amazing people, quiet people, introverts, people that seem to have their heads together, like well level-headed people that I've worked with. We've done projects together, we've done gigs together, and everything is fine, and there's no issue afterwards. So we should not place the charismatic, or even pastors, all these charismatic pastors. All these charismatic pastors and leaders. I mean, we've heard of similarly charismatic people that later found out that they were rapists and all. So we shouldn't exalt. So as a people, we shouldn't exalt eloquence and charisma over character. Very, very important in our decision making, in how we even rate and place people. Eloquence, yes, extroversion is nice, but we should not exalt those things over character. Character is very important in our lives, like in the way we treat people. So I encourage you to actually read this book, because it will help you put these things into perspective, you understand? Because sometimes people prefer to express themselves, to write instead of expressing themselves, enjoying one-on-one conversations. And I realize that most introverts, nobody is entirely introverted, extroverted, really. They just prefer in certain settings. They prefer enjoy solitude. Solitude is good. Godly sorrow, godly solitude is good. People that don't care about wealth, about status, about fame, people that don't like small talk. Some people can just gather around coffee, around drinks, and just, hey, Afa, just talk about Chelsea, Man U, small talk, something serious. And it's okay not to like this, not to just be safe. Like, one of the things I'm learning is to just learn how to accept people the way they are. Like, doing what you guys say, just allow people. My husband will tell me, is there at this age you want to change the person? Like, this person is a full-blown adult. You can't change this person. Just allowing people to just be themselves. People that are just mellow, people that don't like conflict, they don't want... It's okay not to want... We can't all be Dangote. We would, by God's grace, be able to feed ourselves, feed our families, But not everybody wants to be in that group thing. Some people just want to be okay and be chairman of their local government. And that's fine. Some people don't want to be estate chairman. People don't even want to be chairman of their zone in the estate. They just want to be on their own low key and just do their thing. And it's perfectly fine and it's good as a people, Don't try to change that child and say, you must talk, you must be extroverted. That's not the measure of life and living, please. Then the next topic is when collaboration kills creativity. The rise of the new group thing and the power of working alone. So I understand the place of group things, working in a company. But the truth of the matter is that for some people, other people find it difficult to match their pace. I mean, one of the things I realized in my company at Clubback is that I have staff that they are not exactly group thing people. Their creativity will be lost. Early in the morning, if you call them to say, let's do this together, you've lost them for the day. They can't really think of. So what do? I drop messages for them. I'm like, okay, all right, this is what I have in mind. What do you think? And people respond at the earliest convenience within a time frame, and we get the work done. You understand? Because I understand that we don't have to always do group meeting, work together. It kills creativity a lot of times. Because I realize that. So if you're being honest with yourself, if you work hybrid, the days you go to the office and the days you work at home, a lot of times you are more productive on the days you work at home if your heart is on that job. Part 2 is your biology self. Your biology yourself is temperament, destiny, nature, nurture, and the orchid hypothesis. Beyond temperament, the role of free will and the secret of public speaking for introverts. This book has an aspect that discusses public speaking for introverts. Okay, there's a quote there that says, enjoyment appears at the boundary between boredom and anxiety, and the challenges are just balanced with the person's capacity to act. The ability to stretch ourselves within limits applies to extroverts too. One of my clients, Alison, is a business consultant, mother and wife, with a kind of extroverted personality, friendly, forthright, perpetually on the go, that makes people describe her as a force of nature. She has a happy marriage, 2 daughters she adores, and her own consulting firm that she built from scratch. She's really proud of what she's accomplished in life, but she hasn't also always felt too satisfied. The year she graduated from high school, she took a good look at herself and didn't like what she saw. Alison is extremely bright, but you wouldn't see her from her high school transcript. She had her heart set on attending an Ivy League school and had thrown the chance away. And she knew why. She had spent high school socializing. Alison was involved in practically every extracurricular activity her school had to offer, and she didn't have much time left for academics. Partly blamed her parents, who were proud of her daughter's social growth, that they hadn't insisted she studied more, but mostly blamed herself. This is also a mistake parents make. Like, you want your child to read every extracurricular activity. One person cannot do music, karate, everything. That child will not have time for activities. Maybe at the beginning, do a lot of things, explore. At some point, tune it out to 2, 3, or even 1, and let that child focus on the important things. That's the truth. Because you say, extroverted, anything. So that's one of the problems we even face in boarding school. You see a child that is simply doing well in their school when they were in primary school and all of that. That child comes to boarding school. The child is probably a local champion in their primary school anyways, and that child doesn't do well in public school. One in the secondary school, one child is just taking all the stuff because that child lacks some essential skills. That child doesn't sit down to read. That child is on the phone and is playing, going to one party or the other every weekend. That child does not develop the discipline to sit down and study, and it will show. It's not children, it's not life. It will show somehow. It will show somewhere in their character, in their that they lack those study skills. Let me read on. As an adult, Alison is determined not to make similar mistakes. She knows how easy it will be herself in a world of PTA meetings and business networking. So Alison's solution is to look to her family for adaptive strategies. She happens to be the only child of 3 introverted parents, to be married to an introvert and have a younger daughter who is a strong introvert herself. Alison has found ways to tap into the wavelength of the quiet types around her. When she visits her parents, she finds herself meditating and writing in her journal, just the way her mother does. Yes, sometimes we mirror people around us. Sometimes when I have a call, I'm like, no, I'm not going to pick this call when my husband is around. Like, not because of anything. I'm going to learn how to be quiet around him. I'm going to, or you enjoy my blah, 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 blah. Sometimes when, babe, what's up with you? And once you say what's up with you, it's like, you just touch me. I just start talking, this thing. But I've also learned that quietness is good. It helps you to sit down and study, to sit down and do my deep reflection, do the deep introspection that my business needs, plan my next moves and all of that. Those things are very important. So yes, it's good that even as introverts, we tap into the energy of people around us. Introverts will talk more, do some karaoke, go out. Yes, and the extroverts must also learn to tap. At home, she relishes peaceful evenings with her homebody husband, and her younger daughter, who enjoys intimate backyard talks with her mother, has Alison spending afternoons engaged in thoughtful conversation. Alison has even created a network of quiet, reflective friends. Although our best friend in the world, Amy, is a highly charged extrovert just like her. Most of our other friends are introverts. I so appreciate people who listen well, she says Alison. They are friends I go have coffee with. They give me the most spot-on observations. Sometimes I haven't even realized I was doing something counterproductive. And my introvert friends will say, yes, what you're doing. And here are 15 examples of when you did that same thing. Whereas my friend Hammy couldn't even notice. But my introvert friends are sitting back and observing. And we can really connect over that. Alison remains her boisterous self, but she has discovered how to be and benefit from quiet. How to be quiet and benefit from quiet. Even extroverts need this book. Even though we can reach for the outer limits of our temperament, it can be better to situate ourselves quietly inside our comfort zone. So, this is an aspect of the book that I really enjoy. That yes, introverts can learn how to. Extroverts can also learn how to talk. Introverts can learn how to introspect. That's why God is very hilarious in the way he does things. He usually matches introverts and extroverts together, you understand? I can notice sometimes once I wake up and I start talking, that's even why recently I stopped posting on my WhatsApp status like often, because I'm like, once I post online, people will see my post and just start talking, forget it. I just spend that day talking. And also, I'm learning these days that I have calling days. I have days that if it's not business, if it's not urgent, I don't really want to answer immediately, and so maybe take my time to respond later. Those days are for deep. I want to record podcasts. I want to read. I want to meditate. I want to do some deep work. You understand? Part 3. Let's conclude with this. This podcast is getting long. Part 3. Do all cultures have an extrovert ideal? Soft power. Asian Americans and the extrovert ideal. Asians appreciate introversion. Japanese, Chinese people. It's like it's in America and in the West that so much killing is happening. So in our world as Nigerians and sandwich in our crime, we should learn to appreciate our introverts too. How to love, how to walk. When should you act more extroverted than you really are? Let me just answer that question. When should you act more extroverted than you really are? A man has many social selves, as there are distinct groups of persons about whose opinion he cares. He generally shows a different side of himself to each of the different groups. William James. Okay, so would you be surprised if I told you that the Vaudreuilian professor and the recluse who prefers a life of the mind are one and the same man? Maybe not. When you consider that we all behave differently depending on the situation. But if you are capable of such flexibility, does it even make sense to chart differences between introverts and extroverts? Is the very opinion of extroversion two parts a dichotomy? The introvert as sage philosopher, the extrovert as fearless leader. The introvert as poet or science nerd, and extrovert as jock or cheerleader. Aren't we all a little of both? Psychologists call this the person-situation debate. Do fixed personality traits really exist, or do they shift according to the situation in which people find themselves? If you talk to Professor Little, he will tell you that despite his public persona and his teaching accolades, he is a true blue of the charts introvert, not only behaviorally but also neurophysiologically. He took the lemon juice test I described in chapter 4 and salivated right on cue. This would seem to place him squarely on the person side of the debate. Little believes that personality traits exist, that they shape our lives in profound ways, that they are based on psychological mechanisms, and that they are relatively stable across a lifespan. Those who take this view stand on broad shoulders: Hippocrates, Milton, Jung, and more recently the prophet of fMRI machines and skin conductance tests. On the other side of the debate are a group of psychologists known as the situationists. Situationism posits that our generalizations about people, including the words we use to describe one another, shy, aggressive, conscientious, agreeable, and misleading. There is no core self. There are only various selves in situation X, Y, and Z. The situationist view rose to prominence in 1968 when the psychologist Walter Mischel published Personality and Assessment, challenging the idea of fixed personality traits. Mischel argued that situational factors predict the behavior of people, like Brian Little, much better than supposed personality traits. For the next few decades, situationism prevailed. The postmodern view of self that emerged around this time, influenced by theorists like Erving Goffman, author of The Presentation of Self in Everyday Life, suggests that social life is performance and social marks are real selves. Our true selves. Many researchers doubted whether personality tests even existed in any meaningful sense. Personality researchers had trouble finding jobs. Just as the nature-nurture debate has replaced the interactionism, the insight that both factors contribute to who we are and indeed influence each other, so has the person-situation debate been superseded by a more nuanced understanding. Personality psychologists acknowledge that we can feel sociable at 6 p.m. and solitary at 10 p.m. and that these fluctuations are real and situation dependent. But they also emphasize how much evidence has emerged to support the premise that notwithstanding this variation, there truly is such a thing as a fixed personality. Good. So yes, that answers the question of when should you act extroverted than you really are. Is it even possible to be more extroverted? That answers the question. The communication gap. How to talk to members of the opposite type. Communication, very, very important for your relationship. Please read it. The uncouplers and generals. How to cultivate quiet kids in a world that can't hear them. I think I should do another episode on this part 4. When should you act more extroverted than you really are? The communication gap, how to talk to members of the opposite type. On cobblers and generals, how to cultivate quiet kids in a world that can't hear them. If you want me to do a second part of this book review that talks about this part 4, please let me know and I would dive into it and concentrate so much on it. Let me know. This podcast is getting long. I need to end it. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for listening. My name is Oluwatosin Abiodun-Lisk, your host on the show. Remember to just share this episode with friends. Share it with a parent that is struggling to keep up with their quiet child. Share with someone that you love. This is Plan Club Podcast, your choice hub for book reviews and crucial conversations. We really, really love you. Thank you for always tuning in. Remember to come and buy this book and amazing books from us. Just check into our business and come and buy books for your companies, Christmas retreat, for your Christmas outreaches, come and buy books from us. We love you so much. Take care of yourself. Love you.